Okay, in this video we're going to go through the contents of what we have in this load file, this zip file that you have to maintain. And so here is a complete look at all the files that are zipped up in that load, and I'm going to go through and explain what each of them actually do. So let's take a closer look. The first one, the AAA owned by Dr. K. What's in that? Well, that's what's in it. I tell every student to change the name of it so it's owned by, and they supply their name, and then within there I ask them to put a photo of themselves and their contact information. People are always losing their USB drives, and at least in this way you have it internally identified so that if somebody finds it laying around in campus, stuck in the computer, you put it in the library or wherever you forgot it, hopefully it'll come back to you. All right, moving on down the line then. The next thing we want to talk about is O2 files, Git32 and Git64. Git is a version, it's a portable version management system. And we use it integrated in our studio, so we keep track of what we're doing, because we're basically building small computer programs that change over the development life of a project, and you want to be able to go back to things that you had done earlier without much ado. Git gives you all those capabilities, but there's a different Git depending upon the operating system's word size. Right now Windows 7 has 64-bit and 32-bit ones. I think Windows 10 is just primarily 64-bit. But at any rate, which one you'd use depends upon the bit size of your computer. And so here's some further instructions. If you just sit down at a computer in the library running Windows 7 and you want to know which operating system you have, the 32 or the 64-bit one, this information in this slide tells you what to do to find out, so you be sure to pick the right one as you're going ahead and invoking Git in your session. Oops, let's go back here. Next down the line, I want to talk about this folder MikeTeX and the other thing highlighted in yellow underneath it, MikeTeX Portable. What MikeTeX allows you to do is create PDF files from this USB environment. It's a portable latex, basically is what it is. And that MikeTeX_portable in our file, it's a small file, but it manipulates your search path, so then when you're actually looking for the latex installation, the search path, which is how Windows works, will be able to find it for you. So you need those two files. All right, next. Project folders. Pretty much the way we work here is in RStudio, every effort is subordinate to an RStudio project, and all Studio projects are put under Git configuration management. So we usually start with a couple, just blank projects or to get them going. Git01 comes in a workshop that we give in the Moodle course, and project_1 is quite an interesting one. It's a one that one of the fellows who I worked with at Edwards produced, which is a current earthquake map of results for earthquakes in California and Nevada. It's instructive to go through it and see how it works, and it's kind of an impressive project to show to your students. Next, we're going to talk about what is in this R documentation folder. As you see in the picture, there is R documentation up above, and down below is a picture of what's in R documentation. And I have scribbled in there that the textbook that this course uses is this Georgetown College Elementary Stats PDF book, basically, put together by Homer White and Rebecca Robinson. It's a good text, and it goes along with the whole course notes, so that's the text we use. Okay. And now, what are these two things? R330 and RStudio. Both of those are folders that's the largest part of this distribution, that has the current version of R and the current version of RStudio within them. Pretty much R has a new release every 6 months, and right now RStudio is having a much faster release interval. And so what we usually do is we freeze a release and then distribute that, and then next time we teach the course will be at R331 and probably a later version of RStudio. And so when you make this your course, you're going to have to keep updating those as well. What's the rest of it? Well, there's these batch files that actually make it work. We got an RStudio batch file. The reason it's a batch file is because when you put your USB stick into a computer, you don't know what drive letter that computer is going to assign to it. And so if I use the batch file approach, since it's a relative path, which will go from wherever you happen to be at the point you ran the batch file, all these are at the root of the USB drive, it works just fine whatever batch file, whatever drive letter you got assigned in there. So that's basically what you have here. These other two files that you see there, the backup Moodle course and the class files, well, it's the class files right there, is the whole thing zipped up. I just put it on this USB stick when I use a USB stick as an example. And that backup Moodle course, that's probably what you're going to download off the website you're looking at right now, but it's not part of the load. Okay, well, that's it. That explains what we have here, and so we'll sign off now.